Good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of Unscripted and Unchained. My name is DM Bloodworth, and with today's episode, I'm going to be discussing Conan gaming news. As you may know, there's several different games that have been released recently and in the past, centering on Robert E. Howard's character Conan the Barbarian. And so there's some recent news that's coming out with several of the games that are out there currently being played. And so I wanted to go over that news first, and then talk a little bit about Age of Conan, which is the oldest of the games that were currently that are currently still in play, and there's some news upcoming for that game as well. So, beginning with Robert E. Howard's Conan Adventures in an Age Undreamed of, which is the new tabletop role playing game put out by Modifius using the Roll 2D20 system. And they recently, about 2 weeks ago, released to their Kickstarters Conan the Pirate, which is a supplemental booklet. It's only still now in PDF, so it hasn't been released as part of Wave 2 in physical copy. And what that game book is going to bring is a focus on several new regions or countries. So that's Angara, Argos, and the pirates and the regions around the Valley at Sea. And so it also obviously brings in the archetype of pirates and the various skills and game systems that come along with piracy, including ship combat and just the different talent pools that are used by people engaging in piracy. So it's something I'm really looking forward to and digging into. I haven't quite had the chance to jump into it as much as I would like, but it's something that I'm certainly going to during this next week that I'm on vacation put together a scenario and possibly even a full adventure, testing out that system, and playing that with some friends online. In other news, with Conan Exiles, I'm sure many of you might have seen, but if you haven't, Conan Exiles is going to be moving out of beta and into its launch release, which will be May 8th. And there are several packages being that you can pre-order now. One of which is the limited edition. Now, currently, when you go on their website, you can get the information for the limited edition, purchasing it in both digital and physical, but only in European countries right now. There's probably not a distributor just yet for North American release. In some really positive news, the price that I've seen for the collector's edition was somewhere around 60 or maybe 70 euro, and so that's not a bad price for a collector's edition of any game. The only downside that I can see so far is that if you had already purchased the game, there doesn't seem to be any kind of you can just upgrade and get the physical, and other digital assets that come along with the collector's edition. You're essentially paying the full price of purchasing the game all over again. So hopefully Funcom comes up with something along the lines of saying, all right, well, if you already have an account and you've already purchased the Barbarian edition of Exiles, or even the standard edition of Exiles, to upgrade to the collector's edition isn't going to be as costly. but we'll see how that turns out. And then finally, for Age of Conan, sometime in the early 2018 year, is going to open up a new server, a server that is going to, I guess, test out some new systems and give you some additional perks. The new system is, and I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up on or the new server, I should say. I believe it's called it's the Savage server, and on that server, let's see. I'll go to my gaming group real quick. Like I said, Unscripted and Unchained is named that way because sometimes I do things on the fly and not quite as organized as I should be. So I'm like your typical gamer type. It's like sometimes I'm testing out things for the first time myself. So Conan Exiles, news. It's probably further back in my feed than I was expecting. But anyway, I'm going to move forward from that. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show some of you, maybe you haven't seen it already, Age of Conan. And I'm going to start a new character off so you can see it from the very beginning. And I'm going to switch views and jump right into character creation. And to keep it as unscripted and unchained as I can, I'm going to start up a new character and use a class that I don't believe I ever have actually played with before. And so I'm going to shift views and then go right into gameplay mode, so you'll be able to see that. And so here we are into gameplay mode, and in order for me to actually interact with it, I'm going to have to switch to the actual game, so I'll lose control over the broadcast at this point. All right, so as you can see here, I'm at the one of the startup screens with a character creation. I've decided I'm going to make a Sumerian bear shaman, which I've never played before. And one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my audio options and turn down the music volume because going to tone down. There we go. And resume. Because after a while that does get quite annoying. So I am going to name this character. Brill is a druid character that I actually made for Mifrog, so I'm just going to name this character Brill, and hopefully no one has taken that name already, and I am going to accept. Oh my gosh, how could it currently be taken? All right, let's come up with a different name. And that's been taken already too. All right. So you start out in the game on a slave ship heading towards the island of Tortage. The ship is attacked, and you are thrown overboard. The sound doesn't seem to be, perhaps I turned down more than just the music. Now, the first 20 levels of the game is the most, really the most developed as far as the story is concerned. Yeah, I turned off the sound a little too much. I could have sworn I just turned off the music sound, but okay. Let's see how we turn off these things, and let's bring up the sound options again. Audio options. What did I turn down? Oh, that's the master volume I turned down. There we go. All right, so basically you start off with nothing. So I have I have a broken oar. Okay. So very standard WSDA movement. You can also move about by holding down the right mouse button, and then you just use your mouse directional control to move your character left and right.
A friendly face amongst so much ugliness. Free me, I beg you. I was a captive of the tyrant of Tortage. Though I managed to flee after 3 days in the less than tender care of his Red Hunt soldiers. I hoped to hide outside the city until they forgot about me. But I was chased down by the scavenger has the key. Please, hurry. Gods go with you.
All right, so there's all these tutorial things. I'm just going to see if we can close off those. All right, so I have to go find a key. Now you can see the little barriers around him, and that shows where he's really defending from. Alright, so I already found the key. Already went up a level as well. And I'm still going to continue going around and seeing what else I can find. So here's the key. I still have nothing but this broken sword, broken ore. Alright, continue fighting. See, so if I keep on doing this overhead, he was showing like a less of a defense to the overhead. And you can kind of set him up by hitting from one direction and then switching to the other. See, none of them seem to have dropped anything useful. I did pick up a new skill, so that's sweep. So I have my basic attacks, 1, 2, and 3, just directional, and now 4 is a sweeping attack. Slightly more. See, and if you could barely see it, but he put a little bit more defense on where I was attacking more often, and so you just go to where he's being less defensive, and you will get you'll do more damage. So here's a boss. Check my inventory and see if I picked up anything. A small mangled fang, a half digested foot, and some, like a healing potion. healing potion over there, so I could hit it if I need to.
And I will thank the gods go with you.
Okay. Unfortunately, that happened kind of fast, but what you saw there very briefly was was like a special, like a kill move. I did pick up a leather or piece of armor. And here we got several. Okay, let me just hold on 1 second, and I can't see how I can change my volume control. Well, that's something new I haven't seen before, and that's a daily challenge. So that must be something. I haven't played this game in a couple of years, so that's certainly something new. And so I keep on picking up this, oh, a heavy club is better than what I'm currently using. And So basically you make your way through this jungle area. And as you can see, it does get easier. It's easier to kill your opponents when you're paying attention to where they're defending from. So they saw the fatality kill, you know, they take all. Now I got better armor for my lower body. Let's see. The chest is better. I mean, they're the same in value, but I prefer to take the more natural looking material. Character is a bear shaman. Kind of makes more sense. So you see, when you do your special moves, they, I got better shoes. Or shoes, period.
Who stands before Sad? It seems the gods smile upon Sadur. It was no bear. Of course not. Sadur is a practice. Not to me. No. It will be most amusing to watch you try.
I mean, there was more I could do the other direction. What I'll do is I just bring us to the first one. Bring us to the city. So now once you reach this level, you can start looking at, I just reached level 5. And now I could start changing and adding skills. So skills, I could start increasing skills. So I have 90 points to spend or 80 points to spend. And so I can increase my run speed and my climbing. Not really too interested in doing that at the moment. I'm gonna wait till I get some other skills that I can increase later. Now, one thing I like to do is like these, you can see like the new skills I'm picking up. Internal Bleed is a two-handed blunt weapon skill, and you can see its attack is on the mid. So you can see the follow-up is 2 mids. So where I would put this skill is I would put this in this number 2 spot. So I know that that's where it is. This one here is a Slam is just a generic. This one is upper left. And so I would put this in this slot here, which is also an upper left. So I would put the mid slot, and I'm looking for an upper right. And so you would go left, middle, right, and set them up in your tray that way. That way you kind of know what to hit and when. So it's good to mix things around and look to see where they're where they start shifting their defense to, because then you can hit them on their weak side, their defended side. And I'm trying to set him up and keep him on the safe side. You see, he shifted. Now I'll shift over to the middle, and I'll take him. I'll take him in a spot that he was less defended.
Friend? At least this one. Just remember to... We'll meet again.
Greetings, friend. I can't let you in. You could use a smith's tool. You come from many leagues away, yeah? You're diving in people who talk. Watch out for the pigs.
Okay, so this is the main city, or the starter city, and as you can see, I can't go in yet until I run some other quests on the outside, but you basically get a sense of the game. I mean, you can see the graphics of the character and such. Let me see if I can turn that around again. I mean, this game was, this game is nearly 10 years old, and the graphics are still, pretty comparable to some of the games that you see coming out now. So it's that's how advanced the graphics were in this game when it first came out. I hope you enjoyed this little view of the game. It's kind of a backwards look at it. I didn't put very much into, this character, so there was a lot more I could have done with, the character's, visual appearance and such, but just wanted to jump into the game. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm going to switch out of the game. And we'll switch, now that that's shut down, we'll switch back over to here. So, once again, hope you enjoyed episode 5 of Unscripted and Unchained, Conan Gaming News and Age of Conan. And like I said, look forward to showing you the new server when that is released, and play some Conan RPG. Conan Adventures in an Age Undreamed of. So I hope you enjoyed. All right, have a good weekend.